Today is Saturday, March 12th. By the time you're hearing this, it is at least Sunday, March 13th. This episode was recorded on Wednesday the 9th before the Pro League group started. So, to prepare yourself, all takes are old. We could not have predicted anything that happened in this group, even though we may in fact have. And life got in the way, so podcast got delayed. But other than that, the podcast. Welcome to Overtime on Inferno, your weekly roundup of all the big stories in CSGO. Quicker than fnatic can go all the way from a full team down to just two Brits. Quick reminder to rate and review us at the end of this episode. It really helps us. I'm Logan. This is Aizyesque. Let's get into it. Do we want to start with the fnatic thing, or do we want to just...
I feel like we should, now we've introduced it in the intro. A little behind the scenes for you all there. So basically, after Smooyard's sudden departure, let's say, from fnatic, with Regali supposedly standing in.
Welcome to the podcast. We're going to talk about ESL Pro League Group A, which has fnatic in it. Continue.
Good work.
There we go.
So Smooyard obviously left, so the stand-in for him for the moment is Regali. Now, the problem is Regali is ill, so they have a stand-in for the stand-in.
Yep.
Which wouldn't be so bad if they didn't also have a stand-in for Brolan at the moment, supposedly, who might also be playing. We don't know. Supposedly Pepsor's playing, but I've also heard somewhere that Brolan is playing.
But in addition to all of that...
and then Crims is ill, so Banjo is playing. Now, you might be wondering... who the fuck is Banjo? And the thing is, so are we. I have no idea who this guy is. He's on their apparently he's on their academy team, yeah.
But... Yes, he plays on their academy team. I don't think for very long.
No, because he's in the main team now. So not for very long. He's a main team player now. That's it. I mean, all it takes is you have like one or two good games at this level, and like your reputation goes through the roof. So it's kind of a. I mean, it's not a no-lose situation, because if he goes 0-16, it's like, well, all right, maybe you're really bad. But like, if he doesn't do that well, it's like, well, you've come in, you're stepping in for Crims of all players.
Yeah.
You're 17-year-old, never played in this team before. You had about fucking 48 hours notice. If you do badly, it's like, well, you know, what did you expect? The circumstances are not perfect. If he does well, all of a sudden his stock's through the roof. So it's kind of exciting for him. But fuck knows what fnatic are going to look like at this tournament.
I mean...
have a stand-in for a stand-in to go with two other stand-ins.
Yeah. Here's the thing. 1 year ago, right, we were looking at a fnatic roster, full fucking, not even that long ago, like November, like October, right?
Yeah,
full Swedish lineup. Everyone was Swedish here. It was Pepsor, Brolin, Crims, JW. Not October.
Yeah, they had six Swedish players.
It's so many. They had a million Swedish players. Now we have two British players who are the only people left from the actual team.
Yeah, which is bizarre. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Brolan. I was told previously he wouldn't be playing. And then it was like, oh yeah, and then I was told, oh, fnatic have made another change. So I thought, Brolan's in. That's it. NIP have been repelled. Brolan is in for fnatic. At least they're going to have Brolan, Alex, Crims, and Mezzi. And then it only be like one stand-in, which is Regali. And that's all fallen apart because Brolan isn't back, and the actual change they made was actually taking out another one of the only fucking players they've got, putting in Banjo. Regali's not here because he's still ill from last week, so Poison's playing. If they win a map against any team other than LFO, and to be honest, even against LFO, you have to almost consider it a success. Like, they have 2/5 of their real lineup.
Yeah.
And their real lineup isn't even their real lineup.
Yeah. Let's talk for a minute about Group A in general. Group A is G2, NIP, Entropic, Fnatic, Mouse, looking for Org, which is ex Greyhounds.
Yeah.
I do want to come back to Fnatic at one point, but I want to talk about the rest of this group. LFO already 0-1 to G2, which makes sense.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's a horrible game to start on.
Yeah. Here's the fun thing though. NIP could win this group. G2 should win this group. Mouse could win this group.
G2 also have a standing, right? Alexi B's ill.
That's why I said should.
Oh yeah, good point. Now without Alexi B, they're even better. Good point. Yeah.
Exactly. Aminex
in game leading, right?
No,
Side note,
is it
just
ideal.
me? Yeah, good point. Is it just me, or does Aminex look a lot like iDubbbz? It's a bit of a tangent, but whenever I see him, I just think of iDubbbz, and maybe that's insulting to Aminex, but
I see what you mean, man.
yeah, you see what I mean? Like, obviously, Aminex a better Counter-Strike player.
Yeah.
But he's not as good as a YouTuber, probably. I've never watched iDubbbz.
Neither have I, to be fair. That's what I literally had to Google it.
Yeah.
Man.
I only know him from being referenced by other people. Anyway,
so
yeah, Aminex supposedly is in-game leading, but yeah, as we all know, it might just be Nico.
Yeah. Also, by the time that this podcast comes out, the greatest match of this group will have been played, which is the Fnatic NIP match with no Brolin in it.
Yeah, the Broland. Like I think we joked in the newsletter that whoever wins it gets the player, gets the boy. I think I tweeted "gets the boy," which I think is a much funnier way of putting it. It's like I said it's like a divorce, like a custody agreement.
Divorce proceeding.
Whoever wins gets the boy. You get to keep him.
Quick predictions for this group: NIP, Mouse, and Tropic make it.
So Mouse and Entropic are the only two teams with their full roster.
Oh shit!
And LFO.
No. Sorry.
So
I also missaid what I said. I meant G2 and Tropic Mouse. I meant no nip.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's the thing. Is it depends how highly you rate Mouse's full roster. Because I don't think their roster without JDC is much better at all, and I don't have much hope that this team this team has to be better than NIP with a stand-in. It should be better than G2 with a stand-in. And it should probably be better than Entropic if this team is, the one. If this is the roster you're going with, this is the roster you think, right, this gives us the best chance of winning, and you're willing to not bring academy players through because, you have to win now. You have to have the best team you can have right now. It has to be better than Entropic, NIP with a stand-in. It should be better than G2 with a stand-in. Fnatic with 8 stand-ins. Like, this team should be winning this group. And as we speak, they're about to lose 2-0 to Entropic, which, I think it should really be them and Entropic going for the top 2 positions, given everyone else has stand-ins.
Yeah. You'd think, but maybe a little bit not.
Maybe not. I mean, Entropic, this is a really good opportunity for Entropic. We've spoken before about Entropic and how they've always been on the suburbs, but not quite living in the city of the tier 1. Like, they're always around quarterfinals.
Always the groomsman, never the groom.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
I couldn't figure out.
You misogynist.
Bro, I was talking about this the other day, and I couldn't figure out which one it was, and in my head it worked best on it's always the bridesmaid, never the groom, and that just doesn't work at all.
No, that definitely doesn't. Well, I mean, whatever you're into. I
can figure it out.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. Like, they're always in and around quarterfinals, but never seem to actually win it. I mean, this is a great opportunity for them to win the group, and then you're like in with a shout. Once you're in the top 8, like, you're in with a shout, right? Mm-hmm. And this is a great. I say if they do 2-0 Mouse, which it looks like they're about to, this is like a great opportunity for them. Like, they then play LFO and 3 teams with standards. They should top this group, and it's pretty difficult to suggest anyone's going to beat them in current circumstances.
I still don't know if G2 beats if Entropic beats G2, because again, the player that they lost was Alexi B.
True, and I mean,
Amanek is coming in
as
and he knows the team. So is it real? Like, is Amanek really that much of a stand-in? As much of just like yes, he's a
true.
stand-in, but he just left the team and he'll be put into a role in which he used to play before they kicked the Opper.
Yeah, and I will say,
like,
if you lose Alexi B, his system is still going to be in place,
yeah,
right? It's not going to change the way they play that much. You're only missing the sort of mid-round and the sort of head-to-head in-game leader duel of like adjustments in game. But you have to think G2 skill-wise will still be able to overpower nearly anyone. No matter, as long as they'll have the system, they'll have the protocols. They just won't necessarily have the mid-rounding that Alexi supposedly brings. So, I mean, we'll see, right? Like G2, I think, have the best chance of overcoming the stand-in situation, as you say, because it's Alexi and because it shouldn't make that much difference. They're bringing a player has already been on this team before.
Like recently-ish. There's
fnatic, you have to think will finish at the bottom or second bottom.
Yeah. So I said before I wanted to talk a little bit more about fnatic. So we watched some fnatic this weekend.
Yes, we did.
TLDR decided last minute that we were going to do a RMR watch party stream for the Fnatic Fate game in the RMRs. Basically, if Fnatic wins the game, they qualify for the RMRs. I think this whole system is way too fucking complicated, but whatever. Basically, Fnatic win, they're in. If they lose, they have to win 2 times elsewhere to win.
Yeah.
I think we can qualify what they did was win.
Yeah, they definitely overcame fate.
In
more ways than one.
So they won. I would not be willing to say it was a good win.
Yeah, it was a scrappy game. The first map was ugly from both teams.
Both sides.
Mirage was scrappy, but I mean that's to be expected, right? Again, with stand-ins, with playing Inferno Mirage against an underdog, like the important thing when it comes to those games, like I don't think you can really take too much. As long as you win, it doesn't matter. That's how I always feel. Like, do you remember when like NIP, when like not qualifying and it was like a big thing? Like, as long as you fucking win, you can show how good you are at the RMR and at the major. Like, just fucking cut off an arm. Whatever you have to do to just get through this game, just get through it, and then we can figure it out later. It doesn't matter. Which they did, to their credit.
So, point being, in the reason I bring this up, right? The roster for this game was with Crims. It was Pepsor and Poison as the 2 stand-ins, the 2 Brits and Crims. And the team was definitely So,
yeah, and that was with Crims, who looked like their best player.
Exactly. So, an team with taking away Crims, I honestly think that the LFO Fnatic game that comes out the day that this podcast comes out is going to be a banger because it's going to be the battle for last place.
I mean, that's a really good opportunity for Looking for Oak to win a game.
I was going to say, I hope LFO wins it because they deserve to win it. Sterling's a great IGL. Like, everything that we've heard from Oceania, Sterling is awesome. I didn't
even realize he in-game leader. I thought APOC was the in-game leader. He's a great AWPer though, Sterling. He's really good.
I thought Sterling was IGL. I could
be wrong as well. I don't pay enough. It's always difficult with like there's so many like in jokes with Australian Counter-Strike. Like for years they tried to convince people like they would like joke that Dick Stacey was an in-game leader, and he just wasn't. And it was like, you fell for it. It was like, well, yes, because you just keep saying he's like, of course we fell for it. What else are we supposed to?
I mean, we went for years thinking with Dexter having father in his fucking profile, and then the team's not picking him up because they thought he had.
So you never know who's the in-game leader or who's like anything because they just lie for sport about it. So it's like, I would assume APOC's in-game leader because he's like 34.
Okay. Wait, no way he's settled. Hold on.
Yeah, he actually is.
No fucking way.
Yeah, I looked this up the other day because I remember him being old when I watched it. I watched some Australian event and he was playing then. I was like, fucking hell, this guy's like 33 or something. And I checked, yeah, he's like...
So the average age on this team is 24, though.
Yeah, because Savage is 17.
It's just, it counteracts.
Yeah, literally, Savage is 17.
Savage
Like,
is literally
he's half of his age.
huge, yeah.
Hey, he's
That's
half of
insane.
Apoc's age.
That's insane.
I mean, Apoc's been in the scene for ages, bro. Right? Like, I imagine he's an in-game leader because, like, he's been around for so long. Like,
Yeah, you think?
or it's
I don't
almost
know,
like,
man.
not like, what are you here for if you're not? But it's sort of, what are you here for if you're not the in-game
Not,
leader?
yeah.
Sterling is a really good player, though. I mean,
Sterling's great.
he did get dominated by Monazy, but better authors than him have been and will be
Yeah.
because Monazy's a freak.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about Group B? Because Group B doesn't happen for another week.
We could talk a little bit about Group B.
Okay, let's talk a little about Group B. Group B is definitely a group that we have. Vitality, FaZe, Furia, Ents, Sprout, and the brand new team of Outsiders.
Whoa.
Which is Outsiders. You may have heard of some of these players. It's Jame, Yakindar, Keeker, Buster, Flit.
Yeah, there you go. Well done.
I didn't have to Google it. I forgot where my sentence was going. Basically, when last week we talked about how ESL offered Virtus Pro and Gambit the ability to send their players under no flag, no name, no sponsor kind of thing. Virtus Pro has the Virtus Pro players have taken up on that offer, and they'll be playing under the tag of Outsiders. We have yet to hear about anything from Gambit.
It's quite a fitting name, Outsiders. I'm pretty sure Gambit are playing. I think I saw it earlier on Twitter. Also, I heard it from somewhere else, but I'm pretty sure they are playing. Outsiders is quite a fitting name, really, because they're always like outsiders to win every event. Like always the 8-1 dark horse.
Yeah, they're always in it, but they haven't won anything in a while.
Yeah, they haven't, but like you always think they're in with they say that they're always the 8-1 on.
It's like Astralis from prior to the Astralis run.
Yeah, similar. Yeah, it's pretty similar.
Where they're always there. They're always in contention.
Atletico Madrid a couple of years ago, they're always like they might win the Champions League if everyone else kind of loses a game or it has a bit of an off day. Like Atletico Madrid might win it. Virtus Pro might win it. Outsiders might win it.
So the question here is, how many games is Sprout gonna win?
Sprout always like heroic failures. Like they always like come close but then lose. Like 16-13 or 16-14. But it's all best of threes. I don't think they'll win a game. They might win. They'll win like 3 or 4 maps, but never 2 in a row.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think tops this group other than FaZe? I think at this point we all agree.
FaZe.
Both of us agree FaZe is getting out.
Well, no JKS. They got to stand in Rain.
That's a good point. This Rain guy is back.
I'm not convinced that Vitality are going to be great.
Okay.
I've had some time to think about it. I've seen a couple of their games. Having seen FaZe, having seen G2, and knowing Na'Vi, I don't see how Vitality are ever going to be better than those 3. That said, they should be better than Furia, Ents, Sprout. And obviously the uncertainty around VP, you just don't know, do you? You don't really know how it's going to work. Hopefully they're good, because I like them, but I like the players, that is. The org I'm very much indifferent to. Furia haven't looked great with the new roster. Not as good as I thought.
We talked a lot about safe being the move that made the most sense, and
that's always dangerous. If a move makes too much sense, there's something wrong. If it seems too good to be true, it always is.
It's seeming
Something
too
I
good
learned
to
from
be
the
true
real
right
ones.
now.
Yeah, Ents permanently like dangerous underdogs.
Yeah. I
I
don't think they'll get
I
out of this group, but they'll take a game.
you know what? I actually think with outsiders having a bit of uncertainty, Vitality, I'm really not convinced by so far. There's a really genuine chance that Ents make top 3
I
over
think
one of
Ents,
those two.
yeah, I think Ents is number 4 in this group. Like if we had to rank teams,
Yeah,
I'd
and
put like generally I'd put Ents at number 4. There's a chance they get in.
yeah, I think they're better than Furia, and I
No, we
think
know
they,
they are better than Sprout.
yeah, they are better than Sprout.
So
They
that's
might be better than one of Vitality or outsiders at this event. I do like Ents. I think Ents are a
and
solid team.
and we haven't really seen them with Madden that much yet. So
No, and I
it'll
think he's a monster. So
yeah. Um, Group C:
Group C.
Gambit, Liquid, Godsent, Big, Movistar Riders, Party Astronauts.
This
Okay, let's
is
start. Let's
such a
start with the important
massive
thing.
question. This is a massive question mark.
So first of all, I did a quick Twitter Google. I have seen nothing about Gambit players playing.
Oh, interesting. I thought I could have sworn I'd seen it. I might have dreamt it or something.
Okay, so we regardless of anything, we will continue with this discussion as if Gambit will not be playing.
Okay.
I think actually as if Gambit will be playing. Let's assume that they get their stuff
Yeah,
together.
because otherwise we've got
players
no
get
idea
there.
who is playing.
Otherwise, this is a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: if Liquid don't get through this group, they need to make a change.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I mean,
because the rest of this group is Party Astronauts, who love them to death. I donated to get them here. Like, should not get through this group.
I also donated. And if Liquid aren't better than Party Astronauts, then there is a problem because this team costs orders of magnitude more.
Correct.
Party Astronauts had to raise money to get here.
Yeah,
Liquid pay that amount of money like a week to one of their players. Like this, like if Liquid aren't there to Party, there really is a problem. Godsent similarly forged in the same fires as Party Astronauts. Like they've like hardened their teeth in NA. But I mean, I'm a huge Godsent fan. I love this team to bits. They could finish top 3, definitely.
Okay, so here's the thing. Party Astronauts will not make it out of this group. I'm sorry, North American fans. I understand. I as well am from North America. I get it. They don't make it out of this group, right?
Oh, unfortunately, no. I think they'd probably see it as a learning experience.
Any other of the 5 of these teams can make it out. But, again, this will be a disappointment if Liquid doesn't make it out. And if Gambit is playing, Gambit should be a lock to make it out.
Yeah, Gambit should be a lock. Liquid theoretically should get through. But
after that...
does anyone have faith in Team Liquid? Maybe not. Godsent, I think Godsent might be better than this version of Big. I've not seen much from this version of Big that makes me think, yeah, they're the ones. Godsent look really good.
Well, okay, here's the next question. What version of Big are they playing with?
Wow. I assume Crimbo is playing, but I don't know.
Because Crimbo might be playing for Keto.
Yeah, but like they haven't looked good for a little while with any version of the team. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not convinced by Big at all. Maybe this is their like comeback event and they're actually like good again.
I mean, this is in Germany, so maybe they get the Germany buff.
True.
Okay.
Movistar Riders are fun. I love Movistar.
Movistar Riders are fun, and just let me finish on the big point. If anyone from Big is listening, please, for the love of God, get a 5th player that has goddamn capital N.
Stop bringing this up,
bro. I'm certain that it's like the Thanos glove. They've got 4.
I don't think it's a thing.
Bro,
but I love Movistar. I want Movistar to do well.
No,
I don't think they will, but I want them to.
I don't think they will either.
They'll beat Party, and they'll maybe like they might upset Big or Godsent, and I think
Okay.
2 wins is their cap. I hope I'm
I
wrong.
think I think the best way I can put this is I'm not sure I even want Mavistar to do well. I want Nico Daz to do well. Nico Daz is on Copenhagen Flames. I'm an idiot. I'm thinking of the
Yeah,
wrong team.
yeah. This is like
Never
Sun
mind.
Payas. All right,
Sun
I have to
Payas,
say,
yeah.
Movistar do have Deaths, which is the worst name of any pro.
The worst.
The worst. Deaths with 2 Zs. The first one's capital, not even the
God.
second one.
Yep.
Terrible, terrible name. Very
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
But this team's great fun, and they're
Team is fun to watch. Yeah.
they're really solid. Like they grind games out. Like they're a bit like VP, where anytime they win, it's in like 32 rounds. Like somehow they've won 17-15. There's just too many rounds. Every time they play, there's too many rounds. But they're really good in those. Like when the pressure's on, they don't buckle at all. And they're like their Dragonite mascot is just adorable.
So good. By the way, bet on this group. Not that I'm gonna actually put money down, but Party
I'm not
Astronauts
allowed.
beat Liquid.
I'd love that. That'd be so funny.
That's
They come all the way to Europe and beat the other NA team in their group. That'd be so funny.
Yep. This is all I need to say. Speaking of betting while you're employed, did you see the NFL news? Sorry, totally different tangent.
I didn't, but I can.
A wide
glean some
receiver bet
context.
$1,500 while he wasn't playing for the team. He was like he was off for a week or something like that. No, not the team wasn't off for the week, but he was off for like yeah. He bet $1,500 on the game for the team and just got suspended for a year. So his $1,500 bet is costing him $11 million.
Like what? I've heard that in sports there's a massive culture of it where people will just like they just love betting so much and they'll just get around what obviously there's loads of betting laws and they won't like bet on themselves, like they won't break it in that sense, but they'll just keep betting on games even when they're a professional. It's like this cannot be worth it. This cannot be worth the risk.
No. Okay, Group D, which is definitely a group. I'd be willing to say it is a group.
Yeah, this group it's pretty miserable.
So there's
I think
a clear winner.
Would have been the hypest group if there wasn't so many stand-ins. And it's probably B instead.
So Group D is Na'Vi, who should win this group.
Mm-hmm.
They should go 5-0. There should not be a question here.
Heroic and group stages are a very different team.
The rest of this group is a little bit different. You think
Heroic will clean?
Okay, so Heroic 4-1, right? They'll lose to Na'Vi, but that'll be it. After that point, I couldn't tell you who's gonna get out of this group.
It should be Astralis. Like all things, it should be Astralis with Farley. Like this team should be better than Complexity, EG, and Ago. Yeah, like that should be. Like Blame F Config Farley should be too much for Complexity to deal with. It should be too much for EG to deal with. It should be too much for Ago to deal with. You would think. I mean, it obviously doesn't work like that, but Complexity haven't quite lived up to what we hoped so far. I mean, there's plenty of time for that to change and plenty of time for them to have gotten better. Complexity, I don't know what to expect of them in this group. Na'Vi and Heroic are like insurmountable tasks.
Yeah, Na'Vi and Heroic are they everyone in this group should lose to Na'Vi and Heroic except for Na'Vi, who won't lose to Heroic.
I think they might lose to Heroic. In group stages, Heroic are just...
Okay. Regardless, everyone should lose to Na'Vi and Heroic for the most part. After that point, I don't... Here's the thing. EG could come around and be the best team from North America in this group. Stewie and
Russia they could get 2 wins and be the best team from North America at the event.
Yeah.
Map wins, that is.
Yeah. No, but like EG legitimately could come in, be really fucking good. And then then they may not.
I think Complexity have to beat Ago. Otherwise it's like quite embarrassing. I think that's the game you sort of hang your hat on. You're like, Navi's a free hit because you're never going to win it. Heroic's a free hit because you're never going to win it.
Never gonna win that. Yeah.
Astralis, you play well. They have a slight off game. You can beat them.
Yeah.
A Go you have to beat,
You
otherwise
have
it's
to beat a Go.
kind of embarrassing. Like, and that's not because I Go are bad. It's because you've spent like a decent amount of money on this team, and hopes are pretty high for this team. Like, I've been pretty keen on thinking this team's good, but if they're not beating a Go, if they're they like go 0-5 in this group, which is it's not out of the question. They lose to EG and a Go.
Then again,
then it's worrying. It's really worrying. Yeah.
You know what happens at that point? We get the Jason Lake tweet.
I'm building a Colossus. He needs to pick a Leviathan. It should be this time.
Leviathan?
I love the word Leviathan. It's good.
That's a good word. We're building a Leviathan in Dallas, Texas.
Like,
come join us. I'll pay you the best salaries. I'll give you the best way to practice and stuff, or something like that. I don't
the hottest dudes.
Bro, but Blame's already on.
Yeah, they already sold Blame. Never mind. Yeah. They have to sign. Who else? I don't know. Kiebi or something. He's a good-looking guy.
He's free agent right now.
Yeah, he's listed on Heroic's team for Pro League, right?
He's traveling with Heroic, but he's a free agent.
Yeah, they were baiting about him playing
in Kato.
In Katowice. They were like trying to like trick FaZe, I think. So yeah, well done. That worked. They just absolutely battered you. Like, yeah, good
I
work.
don't know if you saw this clip because it happened after Kato, but Carrigan was getting interviewed about like who was playing about their match against FaZe, and I think it was Heku who said something along the lines of like, "So are you ready for the full lineup to be back, or are you ready for JKS to be in for Rain?" He was like, "JKS is in for Rain? Is that
yeah?
back? You sure?"
I think he was joking, but I'm not sure.
No, he was being like dead serious.
I don't know. It's hard to tell with Cadian. I think he might have been playing. I'm not sure.
It was within a time frame that like him play. It was very possible that he was being serious about that.
Don't know. It's the sort of thing I would do if I was him.
I know.
I'd be like,
I know that a lot.
Who?
Very well.
I've never heard of JKS. What are you talking about?
Other important things from this week in news. I guess we have like two little bits of news. So first of all, Twist, the former NIP player, and Plesson, who was not a former NIP player, but
I think he was on Fnatic.
I think he was on Fnatic.
Or like Fnatic's like academy team.
He was on Fnatic Academy a while ago. He was on Chaos for a little bit. Yeah. Both of them have joined Finest, which is a team.
Yeah. That's
it's Ancares. It's actually not a terrible team, to be fair. It's Ancares and Shocks, the former Movistar player.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting team. They'll play 2 events and that'll be it.
Yeah, they're like an EU envy.
It's a weird team, man.
Yeah, the team makes no sense. Finest have done some weird. They've been like shuffling players all over the gaff.
Yeah, it's been a weird team. And then the other, I guess, important thing that we have to talk about for a little bit is
the fact that there was only one NA team in the semifinals of Fragadelphia.
I forgot about that. Yeah, absolutely. We could talk about that.
Fragadelphia semi. There were 3 non-NA teams at Fragadelphia, and all 3 were in the semi-finals, but none of them won. So
it doesn't matter. NA on top.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So here's the scary parts, right? So the ATK team. So the top 4 was Strife, who won the event, Apex Rebels, ATK, and Team 1.
Apex Rebels, by the way, is Apex's academy team led by Mytha as the coach.
So other teams you should probably know from this: Bad News Bears, Carpe Diem, which is the former RBG team.
Yes, that's it. I couldn't remember who it was. I recognized all the players, and I couldn't remember which team they played for. RBG, that's it.
The team of absolute misfits of Gaming Gladiators, which is former Choco Check plus Cynic.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a reputation.
that is definitely a team. I think Touch. No, never mind. Touchpoint's not someone that you generally know. If you really follow NACS, Big Chillin'
I know of Big Chillin'.
with J Dubs.
Yeah,
Um,
they're not great.
but
Good
importantly,
name, but
the
they're
top
not.
four was Strife, Apex Rebels, ATK, and Team One.
Yeah.
So Team One got fourth in this event, and they don't have the mobs carry anymore.
No, I mean that like some of their players are decent,
Yeah,
but they
they have
just weren't
TRK
quite
on
good
them
enough
now.
to be much better. Yeah, TRK we know can be a good player. I
Yeah,
think the Orpa's pretty good if I remember. Is it Maluke? Is that him?
I don't think Maluke is the operator. Isn't it Pesadillo? I could be wrong.
I
Again,
can't. I'm
very
not sure.
possible
I'm
I'm
not sure.
wrong.
Pesadeo Orbs. Maluke is certainly used to.
Was it PRT?
Maluki certainly used to warp. He was like a warping IGL. It tends to be that in Brazil, if you in game
Yeah,
lead, you also AWP or the other way around because of Fallen. Like it's just like he's the king of Brazil, so like
yeah,
everyone wants to be Fallen.
yeah. Um, Apex Rebels, Apex Academy team led by Mither.
Yeah.
They won a lot of matches. That it's about the amount of time I'm willing to give to them right now.
Then they have Sly, who like his numbers are absolutely bananas. Like his numbers at
The
Philadelphia
huge
were
star.
insane. He had like 3 different maps where he had over a 2 rating.
I would say that's disgusting, but it's NA.
Like, of course, it's Philadelphia, but that's
Yeah,
seriously smurfing. That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. No, that's stupid. Um, the the other team in third place was ATK, which you may not know anyone on this team anymore, but you do know Modem,
Who? Sorry.
MOTM, MOTM,
Oh yeah, yeah.
former Extra Salt slash
Cloud
um,
Nine.
Cloud9 slash previous to Cloud9 ATK player.
Yeah,
He's back.
he's a decent player.
No,
Really
him
decent
and
player.
him and Bodenmaster are on this on the lineup that got third place.
Bodemaster just sounds like an oil, like car
You're not
oil.
wrong, man. You're
I
not
put some
wrong.
Bodenmaster in my car, and now it goes faster. It does not sound like a player. I mean, ATK kind of sounds like a garage, so it works. But
Yeah. Team that won this though was Aris, Stamina, Sexy, Joels, and Slight under the name Strife, under the York Strife. Which is good. An NA team won an NA event. Even
just,
though,
I mean, they were pretty
yeah,
convincing in the final, but like,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, the fact there were 3 non-NA teams in the
yeah,
semi-finals is quite amusing.
yeah.
But yeah,
I saw a lot
I
of
just looked up Sly and like some of his ratings. So the first 4 maps, he had a 2.18 where he went 33 and 14, a 1.83, a 1.30, and then a 2.04. And then the map after he had a 1.9 rating. He was absolutely smashing it for the first few games. He cooled off a little bit, and then like against Carpe Diem first map, he went 6 and 19, terrible, and then followed it up with a 31 and 13 and a 27 and 13. Okay, yeah, he's here. And like this guy just went bananas at this event. Like I'd not heard of him before, but certainly somebody
yeah.
that should look out for because those stats are kind of crazy.
I saw a lot of media from this event, like photos, videos, etc. It was good to see NA events in person again, which
Yeah,
was because it was in a local host. Which if you, I don't know if you know what a local host is, but it's just kind of like it's new school LAN cafes here.
right.
Um, which was it was very cool to see just events happening again, which was nice to see. Um, last thing I want to talk about today is Rops and Twists went on HLTV confirmed. You know, the other Counter Strike podcast.
Never heard
And
of it.
they never heard of it. Apparently, we found out that Twist had to convince Carrigan and Robin to get JKS as their sub.
Who else were they going to get? NATO Sapphics?
Which sparked online debates, is where I was going with this, due to that phrase that Elliot just said, because Maui Snake stated such a thing, and, well...
It upset NATO Sapphics. I mean, I understand why NATO's annoyed, but, like...
Yeah.
If you don't want to be known as the guy who's a mediocre stand-in on Twitter, don't be a mediocre stand-in or don't go on Twitter. I'm sorry, like... What do you like? He's okay. Maybe he was a little bit disrespectful by saying it, but like, and
what?
Okay, we've all said some pretty disrespectful shit. It's fucking Twitter. That's what it's for. Isn't that the whole point? I mean, like a week before, he'd said he didn't think Alexi B was that good, which is, I actually kind of agree.
Well, we say that all the time on here.
Yeah, but like. I don't really see how one is different than the other. It's like, oh, yeah, I was being more respectful. I just said he wasn't top 3. Well, all Maui Snake said was you weren't good enough for FaZe, which surely you agree with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think...
It was enough that, like, Richard Lewis got involved.
Richard Lewis did as Richard Lewis did, and, like, instead of sticking a toe in the water, just fucking took a warhammer and smashed it as hard as, like, cannonballed while swinging a warhammer into the water, like, just straight up. Well, you're just a dog shit fucking I think he called him dog shit at one point. I'm like, I mean, if you like, that's disrespectful, but you've kind of asked for it at this point.
Yeah, we got to a point where it's just like, okay,
it's like, this is what disrespectful looks like.
We also got from this interview one of the most important videos I've ever seen, which is of just Rops smiling. Did you see this video?
No, I don't think I did. Is it like the Elige picture that always goes around of him on the green background smiling?
No, it's he's looking straight at the camera, just going.
I see.
Fucking amazing.
Eminently memeable.
Hold up. I'm sending it to you. It's very important to watch. I will toss it if I remember here.
In the
on the screen or in the notes. Yeah. It's an important video to watch.
All right. It's titled "Rops has the cutest smile."
This is the one that I happened to grab. But he's just smiling the whole time. Just looking straight at the camera, smiling the whole time.
Oh god, this is really awkward.
Yeah. But point in the end of the day is that there's good Counter-Strike content this week, and we have Pro League coming up this week, which is fun. Just anything else we have for this week?
I don't know. Like, by the time this has come out, fnatic probably made another 2 roster changes. So
yeah.
I don't think there's anything else yet, but I mean, almost certainly as soon as we finish recording, something will come up. I don't think I have any more notes.
I am as well done. So we will see you all again next week. Where Group A will be done. We'll talk about Group A, and we'll talk a little bit more in depth about Group B. See y'all.
Hell yeah.